All right, then. Yes, people, welcome to our one-on-one session today. My name is Rex Osafo-Asare. I am a P1000 in the team building side of the business. I trade HFX, I trade Forex, I do crypto, I do hyperfund, I do it all, man. I do it all, man. We need to have as many incomes as we have expenses in our account. And so that is exactly why I'm focusing on all these things here. So what you guys are looking at right now is a compound spreadsheet that I put together back in June for our team. What happened is we started off well, obviously, you know, some wins, a few losses, some wins, a few losses. And what you start to find is that you start to do a bit of yo-yoing. And even right now, like actually my account hit like 350 recently, and then now I'm back at 200 and something. But there is a way in which I believe we can get back on track. So for example, right? Today is, what's today? Today is the 14th of August, right? Sorry, 14th of September. So in theory, if we did 5% a day, this is where we should be, right? Sounds crazy to try and make that money back from where we might be to where we might be now. Like most of us might have, you know, 3-figure accounts, let's just say, some even 2-figure accounts, but ultimately there is a way to get back there, yeah? And I want to show you something. Some of you would have heard of this before, right? And it's called the money heist. So let me try and share this real quick. So what I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you a screenshot of one of our other leaders, Shante, is what she did with her team. Can you see this screenshot? It's a bit small for me, but I'm not, hope you can see that. Please give me a 1 in the chat if you can see that. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much. So I don't know how big it is, but ultimately, because I sort of took a screenshot of it. What this is, right, is called the money heist. It was put together by Manny Canones. Basically, if you've heard me talk about it before, then what you know exactly what it is. It is a way to turn $10 or £10 into 6,700 in 15 trades. 15 trades, people. So all of a sudden, that 4,000 figure ain't so impossible, yeah? And how it ultimately works, you can't really see it because it's cut off a little bit, but what you do is your first trade, you start with $10 or £10, right? And then you have to find trades that are paying out at least 70%. So what you do is, you know, all of this is best case scenario, by the way, of course, you have to account for the losses, but we'll get to that. You will trade $10 at 70% or above. And if you win that trade, you win $17. Your next trade will be the whole $17 on another 70% payout trade. You will make 28.9. And then again, you'll make 49.13. At this point, they do tell you to withdraw, but what you ultimately can do is leave the money in your account because you're not going to carry on like doing that. The next trade is not going to be 49.13 because obviously this is a high risk strategy ultimately, right? And it requires perfection ultimately. What you will do is you will deduct 10% from the profit that you have after those 3 trades, which is going to be like £4.91. And then you will go in, where are we now? You will go in, oh, I see. So 10 plus 4.91. So you save yourself this amount, if you can see 14.91, right? And then what you do next is that you go in at 34.22. This, trust me, Beatrice, trust me, because listen, what this is so live because in theory, like you could lose 5 trades. You might lose £50, but if you make up, if you get 5 successful trades, for example, you've kind of you're in profit. And how that works is, by the way, another question, is the music in the background bothering you? Can you hear it? Shall I cut it off? I think I'm gonna cut it off because I don't want any interference here. Let me just cut it off. 1 second. All right. Let's get back on track. So, okay, no problem. That's cool. So are you following me so far? Sorry if I'm rushing, but let me know if you are following me so far and I'll carry on. Then we'll get to the charts. 1, 1, 1. 111 is our unanimous. Yes, I get it. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Colin. So yes, basically, after your 3 successful trades, what you do so just to make sure you don't lose all the money you've just made, from the first trade you made, the $10, you add 10% on your total profits, and that will equal 4.91. So what you do is you add that equals the 14.91. You then make the next trade, right? Next trade then on day 2, or your 4th trade, ultimately starts at 34.22. Again, the same sort of thing, 58.917 and then 58.22. Right, so these are the actual amounts that you have to trade just in order to get to the end, which is over 6,700. The same again after these trades, you bank away the 10%, which is now your first trade, your 34.22 plus the 10% that you made in total just then in your last trade. So now you're banking more money. So I think you get how this works, right? Now I'm not going to lie to you. I did 6 successful trades. I think it was yesterday. And then I got shook. And then I got scared because all of a sudden, like, if you're honest, or if I'm honest, up until that point, it's been, $3 trades, $2 trades, $5 trades, maybe a $10 trade. You don't want to risk anything because ultimately what we teach is good risk management, right? And risk management is at least 1 to 5, even 5% is a stretch, but 1 to 5% of your account per trade. Yeah. And especially if you're trying to your joker. For real, it's actually true. And especially with the risk to reward ratio with regarding this whole process. So if you've heard of it, great. If you haven't heard of it, it's probably been on purpose on my part because I don't want people to come into this academy and think it's, get rich quick and start losing all their money. But I think the people on this call right now get this. I think you will get this, right? And ultimately you've been trading, so you get it even more. What's happened for me is, as I've found with my trading, is that I've got more and more confident. Just to be, again, transparent, so I don't mind showing you my account, but I've been trading with pocket options. And so with pocket options, as you guys know, there is no rollover, there is no double up. I was listening to Castor Prince yesterday, and I realized the thing with pocket options, I've got 2 trains of thought on this. I had a chat with Victoria, who's on our team today, and what she said to me is that pocket options stops you, kind of from you can resist the sort of gambling element of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, what I personally have found and why I think I might entertain a VD Forex or a race options is the fact that I can roll over. Typically, when I trade on pocket options, I do exactly, let's go to a chart real quick. I basically follow the double blessing strategy. So let's go to the chart real quick. So I follow the double blessing strategy. Please give me a 111 if you're not familiar with the double blessing strategy. If you are not familiar, please give me a 222 so I know, what kind of level we're at right now. If I see a lot of 111s and there's no need to go over it. Aha, fantastic, Sean. Okay, cool. So, okay, of course, all right. So with the double blessing strategy, the double blessing strategy is taught by primarily 2 educators from Nigeria, West Africa. Stand up. These guys are Kenvry Mo, and thank you, Sunny Boy. And got some more? And Dr. Oladapo. Yeah, so these guys, they have a strategy called double blessing. The double blessing strategy combines cash trap, which you see in front of you right now. And then it also combines another educator by the name of Evan Cabral, right? So if we look at, if you can see this right here, so Cash Trap by itself, or Cash Trap 1.0, let's just say, was all about the currency you're looking at. So right now we're looking at USD JPY, the currency strength. So you can see that the USD is stronger. No, it actually is weaker than JPY. And where you can also confirm that, and I always use this to confirm it, is the currency strength indicator. Let me put that in the chat so you guys have that. Oopsie. 1 second. Let's get this. Always use this, guys, to confirm your trade, because what happens is sometimes the currency flips and Cash Trap does not update, right? So for example, we're looking at USD JPY. Exactly, you got to refresh the screen, absolutely. So right now it's telling us that USD is weaker than JPY. Let's double check that. Currency strength indicator. So right now that is holding true. If you can see, but USD is gaining strength. So JPY has more bars than USD. That ultimately means that JPY is stronger than USD. So what this means is that we are looking for a sell in the market. If you was to put these two on a scale, obviously JPY is heavier than USD, right? So the scale is tipping downwards. That means we're looking for a sell. Does that analogy work? And does that analogy make sense for you guys that have not understood or just getting familiar with all right, cool, getting familiar with currency strength? So as you can see, like you can see that the market has been trending downwards. I can't even make my, here we go. Where's my arrow at? Yes, so you can see that the market has been trending downwards, right? And that is because JPY is stronger than USD. So ultimately what this means is we are looking for a buy. So that is one confirmation. The other confirmation that CashTrap gives you is that it gives you the type of trade. So a call is a buy, meaning that you think that price is going to go up, right? Where's that arrow here? Anyway, you get the idea. You think that price is going to go up on a buy. If it's a put, as you can see down here, then it thinks that price is going to go down. Yeah. And so that is like currency strength is one indicator, one confirmation. The type of call is another confirmation. What's another confirmation as well? With double blessing, we actually tend to take trades. Yeah. So we tend to take trades. I'll come back to that, Dr. Al. We tend to take trades on the 15-minute, the half an hour, the 45 past, or the hourly. And the reason is because those sort of 15-minute candles is when you get a change in trajectory, let's just say, for price. Like price will typically honor the direction that the strength is in at those timing intervals. So that's when we go into a trade. Another confirmation is that we take trades with the trend. You've heard that saying before many a time for my Forex crew, the trend is your friend. The trend really is your friend. So in this trade right here, we would want to go for a sell. We want to go for a sell. And then the Evan Cabral part of this strategy is the support and resistance zones. Okay, so the supports are the greens and the resistance are the reds. So ultimately what we're looking here, we've seen that there's a floor here, which is what the 613. And on this particular, on this particular currency pair here, USD JPY, it's going for a call. Yeah, there is another confirmation I need to let you know about. It is the stochastic and the RSI. So let me see if I can make this a bit bigger or not. When it comes to, oh dear, right. So these two, you know, the relative strength index, and then, oh, do you know what? I was tempted to go in. So I'll tell you what I would do in this situation. What? Let me stick to one thing, not just get carried away here. So what you want to do, you want to make sure to have a 4-point confirmation. Yes, it would be a buy. Exactly. Stop it, Mike. Stop it, Mike. So basically, what you want to do is that this trade is in a downtrend, right? So what we're actually looking for is a put. We want to go for a sell. Yeah. Right now, it's giving us a call. So ultimately, this trade is invalid, right? So that's one confirmation. The confirmation that, yeah, so JPY is stronger than USD, so it's a sell. We want to look for a put. Want to follow the trend, trade with the trend. We also want to make sure that the RSI and the stochastic are either in the overbought or oversold areas, okay? So right now, it's looking like it's overbought. And so it's looking to come back up. Right now, you want them either close to the green or above the green or below the green for a buy. So right now, that is why CashTrap has called this a call. It wants us to actually be a call right now. It wants us to go in for the buy. But I think the better trade really is probably going to be at 8:30, and it's going to be around this region here. So let's put this in here real quick, just to make it a bit more obvious. So around that 638, right? So let's see. And the reason I'm saying that for my own personal confirmations is I've seen that price has licked this zone a few times. So it licked this zone earlier today. Here, here it's, no, actually here rather. So 1, 2, and it hasn't actually broke that zone. It hasn't broke that zone. So it means it's kind of like a strong area for you to go get in a trade. Now, as I say, the FOMO, as Michael put it, is that Cash Trap gives you trades every 5 minutes, every 5 minutes. So you can, in theory, you know, treat it like a yo-yo. You can be like, okay, let me sell here, let me buy here. But the truth of the matter is sometimes, like with Oladapo and with Kemvry, we always go for trades for 3 minutes. What I have personally found, and through experience, is that if you take this trade now, like this trade is now telling you to make a call, go for a call position, right? That means buy the trade, buy at this price. So you could, if you bought at this price, you technically would be winning the trade right now because it was called correctly. But right now it's above this support line, but it's risky because price could just easily just come and spike you out. Happened many a time. One thing I will unofficially say that I've done in the past is I always go in for 3-minute trades. I always go for 3-minute trades. I always have fixed time off. Always 3-minute trades. That's just because I adhere to the double blessing strategy. Double blessing strategy is such that we trade for 3 minutes. It's either fixed or, you know, without being fixed. But I do that with every single trade that comes in. So even those trades that I've been sending in on the group, like the, what do you call it? The HFX swipe trades, I do those for 3 minutes. Yes, thank you, Jatindra. I do those for 3 minutes as well, even if some of them are like 5 minutes or 1 minute. 3 minutes is, you know, always what I go in for. And what I tend to do if I'm trading against the trend, I don't advise this, but this is what I do sometimes. I go in for 1 minute. I do not go in for the full 3 minutes because definitely price is not going to respect the fact that it's going back up, it's going to come back down. And also, whenever I'm looking, wait, first of all, is that clear? I talked for a long time there. Is that clear? Especially to Sean, especially to Dr. Io, does that make sense? 111. Yes, Colin, I know you got this already, bro. I know you got this already. In particular, Sean, and it makes sense. Okay, cool. You guys got it. I got to respect our man Castor because Castor's diligent. Castor's like, listen, I'm not taking any other trade, like, unless it hits all my markers, you know? And so I respect that fully because definitely, as Michael put it, there's FOMO, there's temptation, there's all sorts. And also the time of day that we're trading. I think Castor didn't take a trade yesterday because, you know, the market was a bit slow. As you can see right now, there's not as much volatility in the market. Yes, G, 100%. You got to be patient. What I was now going to mention, when I go for my trades, the first thing I do, to be honest with you, like Castor is definitely more diligent than me. He's more a student than myself. Like, if I'm honest with you, yes, some of my charts are marked up, but they're more probably marked up for Forex as opposed to HFX. And what I actually do, the first thing I do is I'm like, all right, then cool. What currency strength is looking good right now? So I come into the currency strength indicator, I refresh. I'm like, all right, then you know what? Like I would put from this, I want the biggest gap possible. So I can already see GBP JPY is a great trade or a great trade idea. AUD JPY is a good trade idea. And the reason is because the trend is stronger on these pairs right now. So if I was to go to AUD JPY, sorry, I'm trying to get the chart away. If I was to go to AUD, in fact, let me just do JPY. All right. Oh, yeah. Yes. The gap is crazy. Like, refresh the chart. By the way, if this happens to you guys, when you go on a currency pair and it's like, oh, is it gone? Restart the chart or reset the chart. Strong downtrend. JPY has got a lot of strength right now. So what will we be looking for? on this trend, just to make sure that this is actually sinking in. What are we looking for this particular pair? AUD JPY, what are we looking for? A put or a call? All right, fantastic. Exactly. And also, by the way, guys, you've probably seen this, there's a score, right? So ultimately, the higher the number, the higher the probability the trade is going to go in the direction that we want it. Also, Colin mentioned EMA. So EMA is this exponential moving average, this black line. Yeah. So typically, not always, but typically, if price is underneath this line, we're trending in that direction. Yeah. So right now, let me see if I can get a better picture on this. So I would say, let me see. So a good area for this particular trade right now, what's this? AUD JPY would be the 251 or the 268. So the thick red line, I think this is also another moving average. So another moving average, but it's probably on a wider standard deviation, let's just say. So I think it's probably, I don't know, on the 4 hourly, let's just say. So it tells you kind of what the overall trend will be. So clearly you can see for this thick red line that price is under it, meaning that ultimately we are in a downtrend. So I think with the black line, you know, when you, I think it's the standard deviation, or I can't remember what the actual metric is. Let's just quickly. So, do you know what? Let me quickly go on here actually, real quick. So if I quickly go on an EMA visibility, right? Okay, so I think once again, I think it's more to do with the intervals that it's taking its average on. If it makes any sense. It's a moving average, right? So it's like the closer you see the line to price, the smaller the increments. Sorry, just gotta get this thing here. So I think, for example, that this red line might be a 4 hour, it might be an hourly, possibly. I'll probably have to confirm that, but I think it's probably something along those lines. And maybe the red line is a daily, I'm not sure, but that's what I would go with. And I think the black line is the minute, to be honest. But that makes sense. So what it does, it just sort of averages out the movement of price and gives you the moving average, basically. So where are we? We were here. So look at this, right? It's 8:30 right now. This is a prime time for a trade right now. So sometimes, and this is what impatience will do, man, you will just quickly go and look, okay, there's a potential trade here, but I'm not going to take that, man, because it hasn't hit any of my support lines. I'm up here. Look at this guy. Let's throw it all. Let's throw it all to the bank, man. So look at it. Ooh, what's this? Once again, very tempting. This right here, this Euro JPY, I would have probably gone in for a minute on a buy. Once again, bad recs, but I probably would have gone in for a minute. But then it probably would have lost because look how price is going. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, because what you can see with this trade right now is probably a 3-point trade because it's not going in our trend. So that's one confirmation that's not right. It's definitely JPY is stronger than Euro, than the Euro currency. They've given us a call, which is not a confirmation. It's hit the timing, so about 8:30, that's good. But as you can see, it's wrong. It's all wrong. Like it's a call, but it's still going down. So price is still going down. Our RSI and our stochastic are in great positions. They're in great positions. So what you might find in this particular pair is that at some point it will reverse. That's just naturally going to happen. So, you know, we probably should keep our eye on it, but ultimately we want to go in for a sell. We're not going in for a buy. So buy at your own peril. That's what I will say to you. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Guys, let me ask you a question. Are you guys getting value from the HFX swipes that I'm popping in the group? Is that beneficial? Are you guys catching it in time? I'm going to tell you a little story about that. Listen, Jay, I know I'm saving you guys money, but I can't do it forever. I'll probably try and do it for a month because I'm going to get caught by IM and I don't want that. Ultimately, it's a product that we pay for, HFX swipes, and I've been posting it in the channel. Ultimately, there are more trades that come in than that, but typically, you know, I'm busy doing something. So I'm just giving you some ideas that are still valid. I chuck them in the chat. Yeah, you see me, like, you know, I've cleared most and I've had lessons on. When I say lesson, I mean a loss. But we don't like to say loss. We like to say a lesson because ultimately we're meant to be learning from our losses, right? So with the HFX swipe trades, like I can't put it, can I put it on a screen? Let me see if I can quickly do a WhatsApp to me. They're gonna see my WhatsApp messages, right? Let's go for the PPP group. All right. Oops. Right. Room is open. Okay. So this, for example, when you see this, does it make sense? That's the first question. All right. I know Jitendra's got it. Is it making sense for the rest of you? I'll go for it. Just want to know if that makes a bit of sense. Lovely. Good. So the reason that I sort of frowned upon HFX swipes in the very beginning is because I was like, man, by the time the trades come in, it's probably hit already. Because obviously this is money in minutes, right? So they're bringing in a trade that's going to be like probably hitting in the next 2 minutes. So what's the point? I'm not even by my desk, you know, all that sort of stuff. But what I've actually found is that these trades, some of them are actually put in ahead of time. Some of them, admittedly, come in, you know, minutes before, but typically we've got about 5 minutes or less or a bit more before these trades hit. So they'll give you the enter, give you the pair, give you the entry. They say the expiration time, which is 1 minute. That's what they say. But as I say, you know, you will find your own edge in this HFX game. I do basically 3 minutes. I always do 3 minutes, irrespective of the time that they suggest. And I found that I have won where some of them have lost. So I think that 3 minutes is enough time for a trade, especially if it's trending in the direction that you want it to go in, for it to reverse. It might do a bit of spiking, but ultimately it'll go in the direction that it meant to go in. Time frame, I think they just put the trade in time on a minute time frame. The trade is active. Ultimately, if it's been discarded, it will let us know. And ultimately, if you've won it or lost it, will let us know. The trade size is ultimately just 1 per 100. That's ultimately to do with risk. So if you have a $300 account or £300 account, trade $3 or £3. So that is it, right? So I'm glad you guys are catching some value from them. I'm going to continue doing it for the rest of the month. But after that, I'm afraid you're probably going to have to pay a little something, right? Okay, so I would love to trade this right now. So let's just quickly refresh the screen as well. This Euro JPY, the way it's teasing me right now. The way it is teasing me right now. You know why it's teasing me? It's because it's going against, it's not doing what you want it to do. Like the margins are so small. The margins are so small. I've got a tip for you guys, actually. I've got a tip. So we're human beings, right? Like the likelihood is, I want to take this trade. Yeah. But I mean, look at this. You can see the support and resistance line are so close. So it means that, if it does go my way, it's probably going to hit here and then go in the direction it's meant to go in. So this is my tip. If you've got the itch and you need to take a trade, Kenvi advises as well. Take the trade, but probably do a $1 trade. You know what I mean? Just to sort of, as a quick relief, a bit of release. It's like, like I took the trade, man. You know, worst case, you lose $1. Best case, you might win $1.86 or something. Do you know what I mean? But at least it was sort of, you know, you have released yourself or relieved yourself from the urge to really go hard. Or, as Auntie Kemi is saying, use your demo. I just find it a bit taxing sometimes to switch between demo and thing. But yes, Auntie Kemi, you're absolutely right. that will save you completely. Do you know what I mean? And stop you from risking your money. One thing that these boys have taught me, which is so true, and sometimes something I'm still continually learning, is that, you know, it's best that you keep your money in your account than giving it back to the market or giving it back to the brokers. Yeah. Let's quickly have a look and see if there's something for us, man. So what's my usual trailer thought? So I do refresh. Okay, so currency is still doing the same thing. All right, then. So let's see. So the JPYs. Okay, so GBP and AUD. GBP AUD. Let's go. Huh? I haven't actually decided yet. I'm just looking at GBP and AUD. So GBP resets. Practice does make perfect. Colin, you're absolutely right. Look at this, man. When it's coming to the end of the day, the volatility in the market just goes. It just gone. Like, look at this madness. You know, it was all going well, and then now it's kind of stopped. But what I will say is that market can only go down for so long. And so what it does mean, you know what, man? I might take a trade. What's the worst that can happen? So, forgive me. All right, on this new candle, I'm gonna go for a GBP JPY. GBP JPY at 320. That's what I want to do. I want to go GJ at 320. 3 minute. No, not a 3 minute buy. Well, you know what? You know why I'm hesitating right now? I know it's against the trend, but what's happening is, yeah, it's definitely a buy. But why I'm hesitating is because it's been going down for a while. And so ultimately this pair is losing strength. Do you know what? I'm gonna go for a buy. And I'm gonna go, ooh, I may have missed the entry though. I may have missed the entry. So look at this, right? This, I bet you, this is either gonna tell us a put or a call. So on the break of the new candle, this will update, and it's going to be another 5 minutes. Every single candle on this chart is a 5-minute candle. So what's it telling us? It's telling us it's a put. And why it's telling us it's a put is because it's touching this resistance here, this resistance at the top here. But the trade is invalid because stochastic and RSI are not in the right place. If anything, they were in the right place for a buy. And if I went in for a minute, I may have won that trade. But anyway, you have to learn to just let it go, people. What else is there? What else is there? Oh, what? Huh? What's this? Sorry. AUDJP. You know what? Let me quickly go to AUDJPY. Let me see what going here. Okay. Do you know what? I might lose this trade, but I've gone in for a buy, people. I've gone in for a sell. I've gone in for a sell. I'm so sorry, I should have told you guys. I've gone in for a sell. Let me show you my account. I've gone in for a sell on AUDJPY. You can see my account, it's all good. And why I've done that, let me show you why I did that. You can see the resistance that was here. The trade was called, and it was called in our direction. It was a put. Currency strength is stronger than JPY. It's trading in our direction. RSI is there. So the stochastic is not quite licking there, to be honest, but they're both heading in the right direction. Let's see what the trade is doing right now. So I can already see that. And this is what happens, people. Trades will just like tease you a little bit. $3 trade, people. $3 trade. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get on. But I don't know. You remember I was saying that, like, excuse me. Remember I was saying that the trend has been going on for a long time. So it's been going on for a while. So it might mean that the trend might be more likely to reverse. So again, if we lose this trade, it's probably because that might be what's happening. We can look at the currency strength between AUD and JPY, and even still, if the currency strength is still the same, it can reverse. But right now, I went in for a 3-minute trade. Where are we at? Sorry for not calling it, people. I do apologize. Where are we? But come on, let's be honest. Look how tight this is. Look how tight this is. It's not really even moving. You know, that is why, especially if you're using pocket options, excuse me, your entry's got to be pretty on point. You know, so at the break of the candle, you've really got to sort of just go in and see what's good. So out of interest, I'm so sorry I didn't let you guys know, but did anyone else get into that trade? Anyone else get in that trade? I'll tell you what I got in at. I got in at 218. So I do apologize. I got in at 218. Oh, so for those of you who may not be familiar with HFX, when I say I got in at 218, I'm talking about the last three digits on the currency pair. So as you can see, it was doing so well. It was doing so well. And then as I predicted, it's starting to spike up. And the reason is because it's been going in a downtrend for a hot minute. And so it's due a sort of retracement, if you will. So once again, that's a slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. It was very tight. So if you didn't get in that trade, well done. Took a lesson. Oh, you got in your demo. It's fine. See, Auntie Kemi's correct. Can't be doing this all, you know, with your real account. But it's fine, people, it's fine. You live and you learn. So where are we here? So as you can see now, this trade is going in another direction. And what I tend to do when it's like this is I tend to leave it until it sort of levels out, because right now what's happening is currency strength is still saying the same thing. If I refresh this and I go back to AUD, JPY, currency strength is still the same. Currency strength is the same. We probably have, oh, interesting. See, we've got now another better, it's a better entry actually. This is actually a better entry at the 237. The 237 is a better entry. But again, you know, you can take it. You can take this for a sell. I would probably still wait for the break of a candle personally, because it could still spike up. You saw what happened to me just a minute ago. Right now, again, Cash Up has told that it's going to be a sell. Where are we at here, people? Where are we at? Do you know what? So I am seeing for this particular pair that it's sort of breaking the convention, but I understand why. It's been going on for a long time, and so currency strength is ultimately, you know, waning somewhat. So even though Cash Up called it for a put, this is when sometimes you start to lose trades. It looks like a sell, just like Colin said, but ultimately we'll see what happens. It might just end up being a buy, because now it's starting to retrace. And as you can see, price is also starting to change. So this is what happens. And I think it's more to do with the time of night, you know, the market's starting to close and what have you. But ultimately, yeah, this is what it is, man. You get far more cleaner trades during the day. GBP, JPY. We set the chart. And you can see it's the same sort of thing. So, you know, in theory, oh, there's a trade here, there's a trade here. You know, you can get in at 383, but I wouldn't trust it this time. Yes, bro, these over-the-counter prices, man, OTC. That is what over-the-counter OTC stands for, isn't it? I believe over-the-counter. And so price just starts to move unconventionally. And so that is why, you know, I don't tend to trade, you know, outside of what the London session, outside of the New York session, really, because it starts to do this sort of stuff, which is fine. You know, you can still catch some trades. Let's see some. What I do sometimes, I just go down and see. Look for some. So we've seen this already. Ooh, that looks kind of good, actually. What's the time? That might have been a decent trade to get into, i.e. this Euro JPY. And I say that because it's been going up for a little while and then it's hit resistance. So it's likely that we now got a bit of room for it to actually reverse. But people, you can see it's a bit tricky. I also take reassurance in the RSI and the stochastic. When they are in these sort of oversold, overbought regions, it also adds to my confidence. But as Castor said yesterday, you know, I don't know who uses Race Options or Vidi Forex, but those two platforms definitely help. I believe now I think I'm seeing the light a bit more with the rollover. Like Castor's, I don't even know what Castor's win rate is right now, but it's pretty high. Castor, remind us, did you lose? You haven't lost a trade in 3 weeks? And the one you lost is because your computer froze. It was something crazy like that. And clearly, that might be something that I start to suggest to people, because I think that there you go. I think that when you start to trade with pocket options, obviously you've got to get it sort of pinpoint accurate, right? But then what happens is, what I found anyway, you know, your pinpoint accurate maybe 70% of the time. But at 30%, the trade is definitely going to go your way, but you just might need another 30 seconds, another 5 seconds, another minute. So that is why I am, that's what I'm thinking of doing, going on to live trading. Castor, the question has been asked, bro. Do you do live trading sessions? Please give the room some answers, please. Or another question would be, would you like to do some live trading sessions? And the reason I asked that is because of you do not at the moment. Could we twist your arm a little bit maybe and think of when do you trade? When do you trade during the day? Is there a lunchtime session maybe? Absolutely. Come on, Castor, let's go. Is there a time that best suits? Because I mean, obviously your win rate is crazy and a lot of us would love to benefit. So, you know, if you're willing, clearly we had a session yesterday, you've got the knack for it, bro. So no pressure, but with a win rate like yourself, all we need, Castor is UK based. Castor is UK based. He is also busy building his Ugandan organization. Come on, bro, Uganda, stand up. There are a lot of people on there that are joining because of this guy. So he's a blessing. He's a blessing in the flesh, man. Yeah, a bit too busy sometimes, unfortunately, but I would definitely jump on and support, bro, and take those sessions. Right. I know JP has been asking this for a long time. It's tricky because of location, really, but I think it can be done in terms of an actual face-to-face meet. So, for example, on Wednesdays, I know they do like David Game in Aldgate East. That is definitely one place where everyone sort of comes together. But I think for a more informal, well done, Mohi, you're benefiting nicely, chopping nicely as well. In terms of a face-to-face, I suppose we just need to get on it. JP, let me know, you know what, you're a man who has asked the question many a time. So for me, I live outside of London. There are some people that live in Manchester. I'm assuming you're London-based. I know you're probably East London, I think you said. So it'll be good for some of you even to get in touch. So Forest Gate, where my parents live. So I think it would be good to find out. So I think we can actually probably reach out to Uncle Albert and find out. Why I say that is because he knows, you know, who's in the area, who's in the team that might be close to you, who would be willing also to meet up, because sometimes I live in Surrey right now. It's a bit tricky sometimes to get the meet up, but obviously lockdown has sort of restrictions have been lifted, right? So we can start to meet. We just need to figure out a place to do it, really. Castor, sometimes I trade in the morning when I'm working in the afternoon, and sometimes I trade in the afternoon when I'm working. Okay, slap. So morning session, I see. So, I mean, we can continue this conversation on here or take it offline, but definitely, bro, whenever you're up for it, or if there's a trade you're looking at, you're gonna call in the chat, like we're more than willing, because I do feel that this, where are we? This money heist is something that everybody should jump on if you feel confident enough to do so. Because I mean, I've started to, my account is not saying that much at the moment, but ultimately I've probably, especially today, I've lost more than I've won, definitely, for sure. It's been a bad day today, but ultimately I've started to grow this account. I grew it from like £50, as I say, 350, and it's through this particular compounding plan. So that's why I sort of highly recommend it for those of you who are confident. Castor, do you have any favorite pairings? I think I asked you this yesterday. Do you have any pairs that you particularly like to trade? Bro, you know what, man? You can come off mute. You can come off mute. This is a sharing session, bro. So please feel free.
Yeah, hi. I mostly do Euro USD, Euro JPY, USD CAD, and Euro Chef. So those are my targeted pairs, unless when I find them not aligned at that moment in time.
So you know what? This Euro USD does seem quite nice, but I'm not sure if this zone is the best zone or if this 77 is better. So far, it's licked this resistance here at 0.59. Jumbo. This could be, oops. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at, you mentioned Euro USD. I was like, you know what? That actually might be a decent trade to get into actually. So you know what? If it comes back to 0.5 now, which I think it might do. In fact, it's there on my particular broker, but it's gone higher than that. So if it goes, I'm personally waiting for it to go a bit higher. I will get in this trade. So Euro USD, let's check the currency strength. Euro USD. Oh, it's a bit close. And the reason, so the opportune time to get into this trade is at 8 o'clock, is at 9 o'clock, rather than 5-2, even though we're going to have a candle come at 5-2. You can see my screen now, though, right? Euro USD. Let me see. Right, okay, it's breaking that one. At 9 o'clock. Yeah, exactly. That's why this time is not the best one. I would feel safer going in a bit higher personally. But of course, Cash Trap is gonna be like, yep, it was gonna work. You were gonna win this trade if you went in. You know how it goes. But yeah, it's a bit tight, and you don't want to. When you're educating, you don't want to risk it. To be fair, especially for the masses. And seeing as it's sort of around that area and sort of respecting, but the confirmations do look good. So that could have been a trade that would have been quite nice. Keep your eye on that one, people. Keep your eye on that one. Euro USD. I would definitely be a bit more comfortable if it was like around the 0.75. But you never know, it might respect this 0.63 and just continue coming down. But yeah, we've been taught with the double vesting strategy, on the hour is the next trade. So if you are proper militant, you will definitely you can't say let's go, bro. Like we already missed the entry in it. The entry was earlier than that, and so I wouldn't go in, even though if it comes back to 6.3, let's get in. If it comes back to 6.3, let's get in. Oh, go on. Can they be tied up on one screen? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I think it's either or. So I typically don't use. Oh wow, it's Liberty, isn't it? I can't remember what it is. Is it Liberty.im? Can't remember. Nope. What's the URL? Do you remember what it is? I can't remember what it is. Liberty. I can't remember. Yes, there you go. So you'd have to do them as separate trades. So yeah, 5 minutes. I don't really use this, to be honest with you. I'm a cash trap guy, to be honest. So unless you mean like a split screen type thing. And what would be your point in doing that out of interest, Jay? Would it be just a sort of like a double confirmation type thing? Okay, I see. That 111 is giving me a job. So you lot that got in on that 063, you might be clearing right now. Boom! Congrats. Well done. So for those of you who cleared that one, that was Colin. Do you know why that cleared? Can you see the confirmations? You saw that the strength is in USD's favor. You saw that Cash Trap itself called a put. Well, obviously, Colin, you do because you won the trade. The resistance line, it touched resistance line, it came back down. RSI and stochastic, they were in the opportune place. So there you go. Oh, you know what? Hunter Kemi's right, boy. There's one thing that's missing. This is for you, bro. This is for you. In profits. Right, where we at? You know what though? The trade might still be valid again for those who might want to get in. In profits, bro. Hey. All right. Enough of that, man. This trade is still valid, to be fair, you know. We'll see. Take that virtual bar, bruv. Take it, please. It's yours. Pay what? Guys, man, I didn't even know how the session was actually going to go, to be fair. But clearly it's gone the way it's gone. It's been a lot of me rabbiting on. It was meant to be a Q&A session. I do apologize about that. Definitely meant to be a bit more interactive, but you guys were interactive on the chat, so give me the 111s. We are going to continue. We're going to continue doing these sessions, you know what I mean? Because what I personally hope is that these sessions will turn into live trading sessions, because we want to level up everyone to get to a point where, okay, you have your weapon of choice, whether that's Liberty or Cash Trap, you see the confirmations, we jump in. The timing, of course, is not the best, so, you know, we can think about the timing, but ultimately, you know, we got a lucky man right here, Mr. Colin Allen, who just won his first trade on my first session. Yay, brilliant. So let me know what, I know JP obviously wants to meet up, so we'll take that conversation into like leadership chat, and we'll have a discussion about that, because it's definitely useful and we can all benefit from a face-to-face, you know what I mean? So I'm on that, man. Any more questions? Is this, so I understand you guys are thankful, but is this useful? Is it really worth your time? What do you actually want? What is that's the kind of feedback I want from each session. What do we want? Like, I think people can benefit from seeing how people trade, for example. So you see how Castor trades, you see how I trade. Mine needs to get better, to be fair. Be a bit more disciplined. But the PDF about the compounding plan, is that the one? Yeah. I'll repost that in the chat, bro, for you, or I'll send that in the chat. Yeah, I'll send it in the chat so you can have it. Definitely, we're all still learning, but people, like, trust me, you're gonna have a day like me one day where it's not so good, but then yesterday was a great day, you know, and it just goes like that. But ultimately, we want to be in the trajectory of better days, right? And so that is why we pay this track, bro, because we want to have, we're gonna get bigger every day, regardless, yeah. I hope so. All right, then, people, we're gonna call it. I hope you enjoyed and got some value. Let me stop this recording, so the recording is stopped. At least save it to my computer.